Hailie Deegan calls on NASCAR to officiate the Truck Series more tightly, and Carson Hocevar provides an update on his status for Sonoma this weekend. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. We focused on a lot of Cup Series drama this week. Today we're talking Xfinity and especially trucks. Hailie Deegan spoke to the media this week and had some very interesting thoughts on how NASCAR should officiate the Camping World Truck Series going forward. We'll talk about those in just a moment, but first I want to talk about a top Toyota prospect. Joe Gibbs Racing announced this week that Sammy Smith will make 8 Xfinity starts this year in the 18 car. Smith just turned 18 years old. His first start is expected to be at Road America in July. Pocono, Michigan, Watkins Glen, Kansas, Bristol, Martinsville, and Phoenix will be his other 7 starts this year. Sammy Smith is the defending ARCA Menards Series East champion. Last year he won 3 out of the 8 East sanctioned races, and so far this year he's 3 for 4 in ARCA East starts. He's made 1 start in the main ARCA Menards series this year. It was back at Phoenix. He finished 3rd after leading the most laps. He's been a top Toyota prospect for a couple of years now. I'm excited to see what he can do. Great to see a young up-and-coming driver get a great opportunity with a great team. He's very, very young. Like I said, he literally turned 18 like this week. But I'd say he's earned this opportunity. I'm excited to get a real good look at him on the national stock car racing stage. Next, let's shift to the Truck Series. Let's talk Carson Hocevar. We haven't mentioned Hocevar much this week. We've been waiting for an official statement from either him or the team. Obviously, Hocevar was involved in a scary last lap crash at Gateway this past Saturday, got nailed in the left front. He had to be helped from his truck. He was taken away in a stretcher, giving a thumbs up and a wave to the crowd. Everyone knew it was a lower leg injury, but we didn't know about his status for Sonoma, the severity of the injury. Yesterday, Hocevar and Nice Motorsports did come out with a statement. The plan this weekend is for Carson Hocevar to attempt to start the Truck Series race at Sonoma. He'll have Daniel Suarez on standby to potentially finish the race if needed. Here's what Hocevar put out. I'm feeling better every day and I'm looking forward to being behind the wheel of the number 42 Worldwide Express Chevrolet this weekend. I'm thankful for Daniel Suarez's willingness to step up this weekend for our number 42 team. None of this is possible without the great partnership Nice Motorsports has formed with Worldwide Express and Trackhouse Racing. So yes, Hocevar is running a Worldwide Express sponsored car. That's why Daniel Suarez is available as relief driver. Trackhouse has a big partnership this year with Worldwide Express. Honestly, the fact that Hocevar plans to even attempt this weekend's race at Sonoma, I'm sure he'll make maybe some practice laps before the race. I'm not sure if he'll even try to qualify the truck. Maybe they'll let Suarez do that. I don't know. They've still been pretty quiet about the actual severity of his injuries, but we do know it was serious. Hocevar, man, showing some serious toughness for a kid, 19 years old, to go back out there a week later and attempt to race a NASCAR stock car or truck. Of course, some of it's being done out of necessity. He only gets points for Sonoma if he starts the race, and I think he maybe has to finish a lap. I'm not sure about that part, but I know he at least has to start the race to collect points this weekend, and right now he is in kind of a tenuous point situation. He doesn't have a win yet this year, and he's currently 8th on the Truck Series playoff grid, so in a decent spot, but if you miss a whole race, that's a lot of points to lose out on. If that team wants to make the playoffs, which this year they've shown speed capable of doing, they need Hocevar to start Sonoma. So we'll see if he runs 1 lap, 2 laps, or 40, 50, maybe all 75 or however many laps this weekend's race is. Either way, if he can't go the distance, Daniel Suarez is there on standby. I think that's a pretty good relief driver to have for a Truck Series race at a road course. But there you have it, the latest from Carson Hocevar and Nice Motorsports. Best of luck to him. Let's stick with the Truck Series for this final topic. This week, it was Hailie Deegan's turn to participate in a midweek press conference. And speaking to reporters yesterday, she had some bold ideas. She criticized the lack of discipline in the Truck Series today and suggested NASCAR should step in and officiate more Truck Series incidents. Here's some of what she said yesterday when talking to Claire B. Lang and other NASCAR media.
I think there's just a lot of chaos in the Truck Series, and I think it's kind of almost discipline and a discipline issue. You've got a lot of young kids in there trying to prove themselves. And then you have some of the older talent that's in there that has a lot of experience, and it's not meshing well. And I feel like there needs to be some structure to it in order to get it under control. Because I know if, at least for me, if I'm going to go hit somebody, wreck somebody, whatever, if there is a black flag or some sort of discipline, some like repercussion that I could face because of it, I'm probably going to decide whether or not to do that, not just instantly do it because there's nothing bad going to come of it after.
You're talking about NASCAR. NASCAR should maybe talk to the drivers in the drivers meeting, or should they in the rookie meeting? Or
like, hey, if we decide that it's a racing incident, all good. But if you see it's blatantly intentional or something like that, I don't know exactly how you do. I knew how I grew up. If you did that, you get put to the rear, and like that's enough discipline to make someone kind of decide and have to make a decision. Should I take that risk or should I not?
A couple things. First, I wholeheartedly agree with her that the Truck Series, and occasionally the Xfinity and the Cup Series, has a tendency to get sloppy. To me, driving through someone is far less impressive than being able to drive around someone. The Truck Series, especially at some of these shorter, flatter ovals, is full contact racing. Sometimes it comes down to who can take the last shot, especially when we're talking about the middle of the pack, which is where Hailie Deegan tends to run. Here's where I disagree with Hailie Deegan, though, in a big, big way. I do not believe NASCAR should get into the business of trying to judge what's incidental, hard racing contact versus what's over-the-top, intentional racing contact. It'd be way too hard to judge that line. What crosses it, what doesn't. Like, there are some obvious historical examples that cross the line, like when Kyle Busch took out Ron Hornaday at Texas in 2011. That crossed the line and NASCAR reacted. But like earlier this year, when Alex Bowman sent it 3 wide at COTA and took out Friesen and Kyle Busch, was that crossing the line? It was a bold move. There was contact. It cost a couple guys a potential shot at a win. We always talk about black and white calls versus murky gray areas. I want more calls like speeding on pit road, where, I mean, you either did or you didn't. It's one way or the other. There's no in between. Trying to judge the intent or severity of everyday incidents that you see in every Truck Series race, that puts way too much power in NASCAR's hands and I think will lead to headaches among not just fans watching, but even drivers. I think drivers will disagree with probably every single call NASCAR makes. So I don't want to see those types of rules implemented. I understand where Hailie Deegan is coming from. She's running mid-pack every race, and mid-pack in trucks, really regardless of era, is like the wild, wild west. Guys are using each other up left and right. It's frustrating. It's hard to move forward. It's easy to get knocked back. I understand wholeheartedly Hailie Deegan's frustration. But I will admit, I don't really like hearing it coming from her. All 3 of her ARCA West Series wins came after pretty severe contact. Some of it was justified, maybe some of it wasn't, but if Hailie Deegan gets what she wants in the Truck Series, all 3 of those moves likely would have been held under review. And I don't know, that last one against Derek Kraus where she spun him completely around, I don't know, she might have been penalized for that. So that's what I mean. I don't want to see NASCAR get in the business of trying to officiate intent, trying to judge the severity of like, oh, that guy got spun completely around. Oh, that damaged his truck, so this should be a worse penalty. I don't want to see that. Again, I completely agree with Hailie Deegan that the Truck Series is sometimes a little too rough. It's not the cleanest, most precise, most impressive or skillful driving. But you also have to look at where she's running. She is mid-pack, she's young, she hasn't yet earned the respect of many of the racers around her, and she herself has an aggressive driving history. So she's not gonna get cut much slack out there. And think about the guys she's racing around. Derek Kraus's, Austin Wayne Self, Johnny Sauter, Lawless Allen. Don't take it personally if Lawless Allen bumps you. She is there in the center of the hornet's nest every single week. So I'm not surprised she's tired of getting used up. I'm not really a fan of her proposed solution. She said at the beginning there that she's trying to race people more the way they race her. Sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. I'd love to see cleaner racing in the Truck Series, and I'd hope that some of the veterans in that series would be the ones to help enforce that. But sometimes it's the veterans who are driving in the most over their heads. Like it was Johnny Sauter who fenced Hailie Deegan at Martinsville earlier this year for no reason. He just made a mistake. And he's like the veteran of the sport these days whenever he's out on track. So I don't know how you solve the Truck Series. I don't know how you make the Truck Series more disciplined, but I don't think increased officiating is the right answer. That's just my take as someone who's never driven a race car. Share your thoughts down below. I'm sure most of you watching have also never driven a race car, but I'm sure we all have strong opinions on this one. Share your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think of Hailie Deegan's comments? How do you feel about Daniel Suarez potentially filling in for Carson Hocevar this weekend at Sonoma? As always, hit that subscribe button if you're new. We talk NASCAR every single day here on Out of the Groove. We rarely take breaks. And as always, a big thank you to my Patreon supporters as well. I truly appreciate your continued and very generous support each and every month. Might have another video up tomorrow. Sonoma is this weekend, trucks and Cup running the old 2-mile layout once again, minus the carousel, so I'm excited about that. Only the second road course race of the year, at least for the Cup Series, so potentially a wild card winner, maybe a veteran who hasn't won yet this year gets his first win. It's gonna be an exciting race nonetheless. I'm looking forward to it. I will see you all again very, very soon.